What is meaning? What a difficult question. But if you're a linguist, you have to tackle it because language conveys meaning, and so we should know what meaning is. Okay, let's start with this guy. He seems to like this rock. It means a lot to him. But no matter how long this philosopher contemplates this very rock, he cannot figure out what this rock could possibly mean. It is not at all clear what it means or even how it could associate with meaning. Now, when trying to understand meaning, we should try and understand how things associate with meaning. So, let's look at this question from the point of view of language. Here, we are not dealing with rocks, but with words and sentences. Let's call those the forms of language. And we can ask how these forms get associated with meaning. Let's start with words. How are they associated with meaning? Well, according to Ferdinand de Saussure, the relation between form and meaning here is arbitrary. There is nothing intrinsic to the form that would convey its meaning. For example, there is nothing in the word rock that would tell us that it means rock. So, in a different language, it's a completely different form which has the same meaning. In Spanish, it's piedra. Now, let's look at sentences. They are made up of words, and now the relation between form and meaning is no longer arbitrary. Rather, this relation depends on the words that make up the sentence. The meaning is compositional. And this principle of compositionality is attributed to Gottlob Frege. The meaning of a complex expression is determined by the meanings of its constituent expressions and the rules used to combine them. So let's explore this principle a little bit more. We would expect that we can understand the meaning of a complex expression simply by understanding the meaning of its ingredients. But this is not always the case. Take, for example, implicatures. This guy says it's a nice day for a bike ride, but he means that it's a bad day for a bike ride. He is being ironic. So the intended meaning cannot be read off the form. It is mediated by the principle of cooperation. We have to understand the intention of a speaker to really understand the meaning they want to convey. Or take deictic meaning. When this guy says, I fly, he means that he can fly. He, the guy with the orange suit. But when this guy responds, I fly too, he means that he, the guy with the white suit, can fly. Who the pronoun I refers to depends on who says it. It depends on the deictic context. So in this case, the relation between form and meaning is mediated by this deictic context. Now take emotive meaning, meaning that can be conveyed with interjections like wow. For example, when this guy sees a shark, he might be scared and he can say, wow, that's scary. But this guy is happily relaxing in the sun and he can also use wow, like, wow, this is such a great vacation. Whatever wow conveys depends on the emotion of the speaker, and this emotion cannot be read off the form itself. So here the relation between form and meaning is mediated by the emotional state of the speaker. Same with interactional meaning, the kind of meaning that is used to regulate interaction, like the word okay, which can indicate agreement in interaction. Though okay itself can also mean appropriate, like when this biker says, it's an okay day for a bike ride. He means the day is just appropriate, neither great nor lousy, just okay. But when Pinocchio uses okay in his response, he acknowledges the biker's opinion. So again, we can't really get to the meaning by just looking at the form itself. We can only understand the form in the interactional context. So here the relation between form and meaning is mediated by the interactional context. And finally, take presuppositional meaning. The word the often indicates that we are talking about a unique individual. The is used to presuppose uniqueness, or at least familiarity. But we can use the in this context as well. He's reading the newspaper. Now, there is nothing unique about the newspaper he's reading, there's many others around. So, uniqueness cannot simply be read off the word the itself. It depends on the common ground. So, in this case, the relation between the form and the meaning is mediated by the common ground. So, it seems like the relation between form and meaning is always mediated by something. Now, with this in mind, let's go back to words and sentences. For sentences, we said that the relation between form and meaning is compositional. Well, that actually means that the relation between form and meaning is mediated by the composition. And we can easily see this. Consider this sentence: the chameleon chased the butterfly. It means that the chameleon chased the butterfly. But now consider this one. We use the same words, but now it means that the butterfly chases the chameleon. There are aspects of meaning that depend on the composition and not on the words that are used, like who is the chaser and who's being chased. And this is what Frege said in his principle of compositionality. It's not just the ingredients, but also the rules of composition. So, in sentences, the relation between form and meaning is mediated by grammar. And again, the relation between form and meaning is mediated and not direct. So, what about words? Isn't this a direct relation? An arbitrary relation, but nevertheless direct? Well, really, here the relation is mediated by the speech community, which has agreed on the arbitrary convention. So, again, we have a relation between form and meaning that is mediated. So, it looks like that the relation between form and meaning is always mediated by something, at least in language. So now let's go back to the philosopher's question. He's right to be puzzled. There is no inherent meaning to this rock. For this guy, the rock has acquired a meaning, presumably via some positive experience that we don't know about. So in this case, too, the relation between the rock and the meaning is mediated. In this case, it is mediated by a human mind. A mind that seems to be predisposed to search for meaning in everything.